Okay, there you go. Did you hear my hook, by the way? Did my hook work, or do I need to repeat it? So if I need to repeat it, that's going to be very awkward for YouTube when it's actually not live and putting as an actual thing. Let me know, Lax, ya habibi. Okay, do you know what? I'll just read you the hook. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I'm currently building episode 2 of my journey to 10k per month, starting from scratch to show you it's not luck when it comes to building a halal business. In this episode, I'm literally just going to be going over the offer one final time, because that's what we created last video. And I'm literally going to be outreaching. Right? I'm going to start cold calling. I'm going to walk you through my cold calling script, everything I've used in the past to book 2, 3, 4, 5 meetings a day. So inshallah, by the end of this video, we will be doing cold calls, inshallah. All right. Wa alaikum assalam, ikhwan. I'm literally going to go over now an actionable part for all of you guys if you're following along. So how we're going to build the offer itself, right? Because we've already built it last episode. So if you haven't watched that, you can go ahead and watch it. But we're going to look at it from this perspective here of just putting it together. Now, my business partner, Muhammad, had an incredibly powerful offer when he worked with coaches and consultants. So I've asked him to send it to me, and he has. It's right here. It's really, really good. But we're using that as kind of a framework, right? And so the reason I wanted to have it written out here is so that I can always have this with me. Because my offer pitch is what I'm going to be using in every single one of my outreaches. Whether it's going to be cold calling, whether it's going to be anything else, this is what I'll be using, inshallah. So who do we help? Remember we said we work with business coaches and consultants. And then we're going to say who, right? So I'm going to list out kind of a couple things. They started the business to be financially free. So the reason I have this here is because oftentimes when you're describing the person, you want them to feel understood. And you can do that by saying why they started the business, right? They started the business to be financially free. The next thing, we're going to give another reason, right? They want to help people by sharing their expertise. So that's 2 reasons why they started. Now we're going to give 2 problems. One problem is fed up of chasing leads and inconsistent client acquisition. And again, if this is like, Fedi, where the heck did you get this, right? Whether you bought this from thin air, this is in the last part, right? When it comes to actually kind of building out the offer itself and showing you kind of the basics of that. So hopefully you can see, by the way, on my screen specifically. Can you guys see the worksheet, or am I just waffling? Can you guys not see it? Let me know if you can very quickly. There's going to be a bit of a lag between what you guys put in the chat and me actually talking. So hopefully, just let me know if it's all good. I don't know if you guys can actually see this, the offer sheet. Because if you can't, that's going to be very, very annoying. Oh, you don't see it? Okay. Let me quickly change one thing in that case. Can you guys see it now? I think you hopefully can. So I'm going to continue. So this is what I was doing, by the way, while I was waffling on and on and on. So then we're going to describe a second problem. So the first problem we said was they're fed up of chasing leads and inconsistent client acquisition. The second problem is they want predictable growth. Can't spell, can I? Predictable growth to scale their business. So that's kind of like a problem / desire, right? Okay, cool. Disqualifiers here. So for me personally, I don't really have many disqualifiers. I personally don't want to work with women anyway. So like I might book a meeting with women for me and Adam, who are building this, right? Because he's going to be doing the sales calls with me, because I want to teach him how to do sales a bit better. But I personally don't have a lot of disqualifiers. This isn't a haram niche. So usually if there's a niche that has some haram in it, you might disqualify them. Like you might say, let's say you work with restaurants. You might say, I don't work with restaurants who like want to sell alcohol as their advertising. You just help them sell food, for example. Just a random example, okay? So I'm just going to remove disqualifiers. So I'll promise the outcome that we're going to have, I'm just going to put it here so you guys can see, 15 booked appointments / 3 clients in 30 days. And then our guarantee, if you remember, inshallah you do remember from last episode, the guarantee that we had was a satisfaction guarantee, right? So satisfaction guarantee. And we're going to write that out just to make it all look nice when it's together. But for now, I like to just have things rough like this. Time frame, we've already put 30 days. Okay, so this is how you build out the offer itself. Now we're going to put it together so it's actually nice. Okay, 15 booked appointments. So we help business coaches and consultants sign, and then I'm going to put 3 clients. Oops, 3 clients, and then I'll take the 30 days and put it in there. In 30 days, I got a new monitor by the way, and I can barely see. I can barely see it. So it's so big and pixely, I can barely see it. But anyway, 3 clients in 30 days. And if you're unsatisfied with our results, 100% refund guarantee. I'm just going to put it as that for now, right? So the strategy, this is really cool actually that Mohammed did this. So if I show you his one, right? For his strategy, he put exactly what he would like have so that he can have it in his mind. He wouldn't actually show this to potential clients, but I feel like a lot of people when they start off, they get really confused about what service to deliver, what steps they're going to take to deliver the best service. And so by just having this like strategy section here for you, you're not going to show it to anybody else, right? It's like, right, how am I going to set things up? I'm going to optimize their profile. I'm going to hire appointment setters. I'm going to build out the email infrastructure. And I'm also going to start building out content for them. Then there was outbound for Mohammed, right? Send 100 automated emails per day, send 100 get them basically an extra 1,000 followers per month, and then send 100 cold messages per day. And then when it came to sales, Mohammed would basically come in and build the sales team for them. I'm not going to do any of that, right? Literally, my strategy is going to be cold call. That's it. That's how I'm going to get myself clients. That's how I'm going to get my clients clients. So I'll guarantee. So Mohammed tends to like give a name for the guarantees. I don't usually give loads of like names of guarantees, but I'm just going to explain it here. So guarantee satisfaction, right? If you're unhappy, your wallet stays full. There you go. That's a funny little thing I could say, right? So 100% refund, work for free based on results. So if we don't hit the goal of getting them 15 appointments or 3 clients a month, then I'll work with them for free until I get them that, right? If you work with us, you're either. So we're going to put best case scenario here. Predictably, scale your business, focusing on what you do best and keeping high profit margins, right? Or you can, in the worst case scenario, so again, if I show you Mohammed's one just as an example, because he's really good. So install our client acquisition infrastructure and sign 20 new high-ticket clients without lifting a finger. So I'm going to add that really quickly. Predictably scale your business, focus on what you do best, keeping high profit margins by signing 3 clients per month, every month. There you go. Or you can, and then worst case scenario from step 8, and in Mohammed's case, like sign 20 clients, receive a full refund plus $2,000, right? So, or worst case scenario, sign 3 clients, be mad at me, and get your money back, right? And instead of money, I'm going to put investment. There you go. Just because I think, I don't know, I prefer the word investment than kind of pay or money personally. So think of this as, and then this is the final little bit that Mohammed does, and I like this to be honest, a predictable client acquisition infrastructure that transform your company in 90 days. I'm going to copy and paste and change it a little bit. A predictable client acquisition infrastructure that will transform your company, no, that transform your consultancy and make you the undeniable authority in your space in 90 days. In 30 days. I'm probably going to work with him for 3 months. So I'll put 90 days. Let's get rid of that one here. Bam. All right. Tamam. We got the offer. That's it. Who's been following along, by the way? I want to quickly see who's been following along, who's been checking anything to see how they want to potentially do this as well. Let's see. Mr. Future Billionaire Daily Updates. Assalamu alaikum. I have no idea, Habibi. I am not too sure. I have a whole team that checks the school stuff. Usually we have like strict people that we allow in based on what we've seen in the past, be based on spam or whatever it would be. So it could be that your profile is just a red flag. That's it. But put your name in the chat so I actually know who you are, so that way I can tell my team to be careful with it. Alpha ya habibi, assalamu alaikum. Hopefully you're doing okay, akhi. Today, we're literally finishing off the offer, which we've done here. Obviously, you've seen this yourself. And then, inshallah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cold call. That's literally it. Like, I'll build out the script. You guys see what my head goes to when I'm building out scripts and stuff like that. But we're literally just going to get to cold calling as soon as possible. I don't want to waste any time. I genuinely want to show you how easy it is to start making money, right? Especially when you have skills or when you're developing skills, but you act quickly. The quicker I fail, the quicker I get a no, the more happy I'm going to be, right? Assalamu alaikum akram habibi. I figured from your name that you'd be from Istanbul, akhi. And your surname as well. I've been there before, alhamdulillah. It's a lovely, lovely, beautiful, beautiful city. Oh, look at this, all my old courses. Okay, so we're going to use my cold calling template because for me, I made a YouTube video about this. No, this isn't it. I made a YouTube video about this, and do you know what? Let's just go to my YouTube video because that way you guys can all go on it as well and watch it. It's a bit old at this point, but it is the only video that you really need to watch for cold calling when it comes to having the entire system. So it's this one right here. I don't know, YouTube's been okay. What the heck? I need to put the links back there. They've disappeared. Welcome to the complete no... Be quiet. Young Fedi, so weird. Look at him. Without his beard. Subhanallah. Astaghfirullah. Hopefully you guys like it. I'm growing out the whole beard now. Before I just grew out this part, I'm going to grow out the whole thing now. Because I realized like there's no point in me not growing out more. Like I want to have a unique look by keeping it just here. It's like, I might as well follow the sunnah. Do you know what I mean? Like why would I go against the sunnah? It's a bit silly. Okay, as you guys can see, I've got so many workflows. Let's use my original one. I'm going to inshallah put this in the video as well because all the scripts are here. Okay, so here's the decision maker template. I'm literally just going to make a copy. So copy. Let's close the old ones. Keep this here for later so I can add it to the video, inshallah. I'm going to edit it. So you guys literally can see how easy it is. By the way, like I said, in the video, you'll have access to this. You'll be able to just edit it yourself based on what I'm showing you, right? So, hey name, I know I'm calling out the blue. It's Fedi from, I'm not Dantu now. I'm just going to say it's Fedi from Bath, which is the city that I live in the UK. Do you mind giving me a minute to tell you why I'm calling? The reason I say this is because I'm using Erdem's business name. And I'll probably like put it in at some point, but starting today, I'm just going to put Bath, basically. I just want to keep it really simple to get started. Typically, niche are looking to increase the number of clients they work with. Is this something you're focused on right now, or do you not have the capacity? Cool, I like it. So I'm just going to change it to typically business consultants. There you go. Are looking to increase the number of clients they work with. Is this something you're focused on right now, or do you not have the capacity? Perfect, so now we're going to go offer. So I give a couple of example pictures here, what it would look like. And a couple of resonation questions as I call them, but I'm just going to literally do this here by copy and pasting two things, right? So business coach consultants, and then actually I'm going to take this, copy paste it here. Okay, just so I can show you what I'm going to tweak and what I'm going to improve, right? So we help business coaching consultants sign 3 clients in 30 days. I'm going to put every single month. Every single month. Okay. And then I'm going to quickly give an overview of how I do this, right? I do this, or we do this, because they'll ask me if I have a team, and I will tell them, be honest, like I don't. We do this by building out outbound infrastructures that book calls with only qualified buyers. Then we nurture them so that they're as warm as... Guys, what's something that's really warm? I'm trying to think, what's something that's really warm? Let me see the chat, 'cause I don't know if I can still see it. There it is. What's something that's really, really warm? That's also kind of funny. Qualified buyers, then we nurture them so that they're as warm as... I was thinking like jacket potato. Sounds a bit weird, but generally, like, you know, when you're doing cold calls, you might as well do something that's a little bit fun in them. They're as warm as... I'm going to put jacket potato. jacket potatoes. There you go. Best part is we handle 100% of the work. And if you're unsatisfied with our results, 100% refund guarantee. Does that make sense? I'm going to change that from does that make sense to would this be worth a conversation? Bam. So they're going to ask me a question. They're going to give me objections. Since you are focused on getting more clients, how about we set up a brief intro meeting to talk more about what's top of mind for you and how we can help? Script built. There you go. I've done over like 15,000 cold calls. And for me, just having this script helps. Like it's just a template. I know what works. I did it, bam. I know what works. I did it, bam. By the way, I think there's a big lag between me and you guys because Alpha Habibi, I just saw that you said you can't think of anything. I appreciate it. Okay, so I need to replace the objection handling one because this one's disappeared. So let me quickly do this. Let's see, is this one still existing? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's just add this into here because this is basically the same with all of them. Let's spell potatoes correctly. There you go. I'm literally just going to cold call Juan now. Like, do you see how quickly that was? Was it like hour and 18 minutes in total? Maybe like an hour and a half or so to set up the offer in the business. And now we're going to validate the offer. We're going to see people actually want to buy it. I'm obviously not going to show you guys the list of numbers that I have, just because I think it's just unfair on the people that like actually, you know, they've given me their numbers. Well, I've technically got them from somewhere, but the way, if you're curious about how I got the numbers, I'll literally just show you now. Right, so you might sign up to a software called Lucia. It's free to sign up, by the way, because you're just doing searches. And then you might go on Fiverr. I wouldn't use Fiverr for now. I'd use Upwork because Fiverr is owned by Yehud, right? Israelis. So we don't want that. We don't want to give them any money, not even a penny. And so just on Upwork, did it take me to Fiverr? I meant to press Upwork. Sneaky buggers, look at them. Upwork, there you go. So you'd sign up for Lucia. I'm not going to do it just for the sake of like, you know, I could potentially do it in another video if you guys want to see it, but it's like, it's really easy. And then you use keywords, right? So that's literally it. Like you use keywords, for example, if you guys have used Apollo before, it's the same as Apollo, right? You'll just sign up, search for the keywords that you're looking for when it comes to, for example, for me, it'd be like business consultant. That's literally it. That's what I put, business consultant. I might put founder as their title, but the main keyword I'm using is business consultant. And then I would message somebody. So let's put lead generation, and I'm going to put phone numbers. Lead generation phone numbers. There you go. I don't know, obviously, these people, but I'd hire one of them. No, it's going to ask me to do that stuff. I'd literally hire them. It's going to cost me like $10 per 100 numbers or so. And instead of me doing it myself and having to pay an extortionate amount for Apollo and Lucia for what they offer as value, I'd rather have somebody else get me the numbers, right? Because to get numbers is just ridiculous. Like if I show you the pricing for Lucia, it's like, well, actually that's not loads, but for how many credits? Like 300. Like it's 5 credits to get a phone number of somebody. I'm going to use those 3,000 credits so quickly. And that's per year, by the way. That's not per month. So that's divided by 12. Anyway, it's just nothing at all, right? 40 credits per month. That's what, like 8 numbers. That, again, for free, it doesn't, like, we don't want that. So we want it somewhere in between, which is obviously to hire somebody from Upwork based on what we searched up on Lucia. Quace. Tamam. All right, where's my phone? I don't usually work with my phone next to me, but let me grab it and then let us, Bismillah, get going with this. All right, like I said, there's a bit of lag. I'm literally just going to start cold calling these numbers. All right, Bismillah. So this person's name is Rebecca. Oh, don't like working with women. If you ask me, by the way, it's not that I'm necessarily sexist, it's just I don't like taking sales calls with women because every woman that I've worked with, non-Muslim, by the way, just in general, they've been a bit of a headache when it comes to like the sales calls and how they work and how they think. And like, I just prefer talking to men in general. I'll be honest with you. I know it sounds a bit weird, but just I'm being honest, right? Bismillah. All right. Let's see. All right, this is Rebecca.
it's Rebecca Bonning.
All right. I don't leave voice messages, so let's do a double dial just in case.
Hi.
All right, didn't pick up. So let's go for the next one. The next one is called Simone. All right, cool name. Inshallah, next video, what I'll have, or next live stream, I'll have the dialer on Go High Level set up, and I'll show you how to set it up, inshallah.
Hello?
Hello, Simone. I know I'm calling out the blue here. It's Fedi from Bath. Do you mind giving me a minute to tell you why I'm calling?
Who is speaking, sorry?
Fedi. It's Fedi from Bath.
Freddy?
Fedi, yeah. Freddy without the R.
Freddy? What it is about?
Awesome. Well, I wanted to call you because typically the business consultants that I speak to, they're looking to increase the number of clients they work with. Is that something that's like on your radar right now?
Sorry.
Or?
No, sorry. I'm also working at the moment, so I cannot stay over the phone. I'm sorry.
That's absolutely fine. Is there a better time for me to call you, Simone? I'll call you back tomorrow, hopefully.
Not for the moment, thank you. I will contact you back in case I need it, okay?
Need what, sorry?
I need to understand better what it is about, or why are you calling me? I mean,
yeah, I was...
But at the moment, I'm in a session, sorry. I
cannot
no
really worries,
stay over the
no
phone.
worries.
I'm sorry, bye-bye.
No worries. Have a nice session. Take care, Simone.
Bye, thank you.
Hey, we got our first rejection. I'm not going to count that as a no, by the way. I won't call him back tomorrow, but I will call him back next week. Like, he didn't say no. The guy just didn't like cold calls, and that's fine. I could have probably handled that a little bit better, but if he was in his session, although I don't really think he was, then I gave him some space. If not, like I said, I'll just call him back another day. So let's keep moving. Let's see, did I put in the number correctly? Yeah, I did. All right, guess that person doesn't have service. Let's go on to the next one. Oh, crap, I completely forgot. If I'm going to book them, inshallah, I actually need a way to get Adam's calendar. So I need to message Adam about that now. Assalamu alaikum, Adam, akhi. Do you mind sending me your calendar link? Because I've started cold calling. And inshallah, when I book them in, it's going to be through your calendar, bi'idhnillah. So that way you can just invite me to the call. Bit of a silly mistake. I'd rather... This is the annoying thing. It's going to look like I'm procrastinating now to actually cold call. I want to wait. I think Adam hopefully will respond soon to book them in. Because the issue is, if I just write down their number, or I write down their number and their email and whatever it is to like book them in for that time, what will probably happen is that they'll forget about the meeting completely and they won't show. In which case, I don't know how long necessarily Adam's going to take, but it's just going to take me a while. But at the same time, I don't want to make it as an excuse. What does everyone think? What do you guys think? Do you guys think I should just cold call? Continue cold calling? Like I said, there's there's so much lag between me and everything else, but like, do you guys inshallah want me to cold call? And then if somebody wants to be booked in, I'll just write it down somewhere and then book them in when I actually get the calendar. I think I might as well just cold call. What's everyone's thoughts? All right, do you know what? It's lagging so much. It's lagging so much. It's like a 5-minute delay, not that much, but there's like a big delay. I'm just gonna keep cold calling. I'll write it down so that they get booked in automatically later on. So yeah, let's just keep cold calling. Let's not stop.
Hello?
Hey Alex, I know I'm calling out the blue. It's Fedi from Bath. Do you mind giving me a minute to tell you why I'm calling?
Sure. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, typically the business consultants I speak to are looking to increase the number of clients they work with. Is this something that's a priority for you guys right now, or do you just not have the capacity to take anyone on?
I've actually kind of moved a little bit, from a career perspective. So, are you calling for Altor?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, no, Altor is kind of really slowing things down. Coaches are a bit here and there, so we're not really active at the moment.
Oh, okay. No worries. What are you currently doing then? I'm kind of curious now.
I'm sorry?
What are you currently doing then? What's your current priority, Alex?
I move as a chief people officer of a tech unicorn.
Oh,
So
wow.
quite different.
That's amazing. Is that a SaaS company or is it just like an AI-driven one? Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, it's a SaaS. Yeah.
That's really, really cool. Awesome. Well, do you know what? I won't take up much of your time, Alex. I've got my brother who works with SaaS as well, so I know how it can be a bit daunting with all the stuff you have to do as a startup as well. But take care of yourself. God bless, Alex. And thank you very
so
much.
much. Have a great afternoon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that person was not a lead anymore. So let's put bad fit, because he works with a SaaS company. And I might give him over to my brother, because my brother works with SaaS companies. So let me make a quick note of that. Let me just message him now. There you go. All right, let's keep calling. Bismillah.
Hi, you've reached Lecamus.
Okay. Very quickly, by the way, I do want to say, if you've noticed where I start speeding up after the introduction, like this opener, I've practiced so many flipping times. I don't get nervous at all. But then when they give me permission, right, you might have heard me a couple of times, like I speed up in the first couple words. I kind of force myself to breathe and slow back again. Because it's very natural for you, like for me to be nervous even. And I've done 15,000 cold calls or so. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just giving you this little tip now, because for me, like whenever I'd get nervous before and I'd speed up my talking and I'd speed up my breathing and I'd start sounding more nervous than it actually was. And obviously just created a weird dynamic with me on the call. And it just I just didn't want to cold call because I'd be nervous all the time. So anyway, just take a breath and then you're talking to a human being. If you just sound okay, like you don't sound like you're angry, you don't sound like you're sad, they're not going to mind talking to you that much, even if they hate cold calls. And obviously these guys hate cold calls, but even so, it doesn't matter.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
All right, let's double dial quick. If it just goes straight to voicemail, I double dial.
Call has been forwarded to voice.
All right, phone's off. Because usually I have this setting, by the way, people have to call me twice unless it's my mum and my brother, because like, I don't know who's calling me. And so if they call me once, I know it's just not important and they don't know who I am, because the people who know who I am, now I've given you the tips as well. So if anybody gets my number somehow and end up calling me, you realize you have to call me twice, but yeah, just a little tip. Cold call.
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
Fedi, calling regarding client acquisition.
Thanks. Please stay on the line.
This hold music is so bad. When I used to cold call dentists, and obviously I'd be on the phone to the receptionists, like I'd be on hold for like 20 minutes per day. I'd literally memorized all the songs they had. And I remember when I was
sorry, this person is not available. If you would like to leave an additional message, please reply after the tone.
All right, never mind. We'll call that person later. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, like after I was like wanting to be a bit stricter on myself when it came to like music, so I stopped listening to music anyway. I was like, oh, I guess this kind of counts like music as music. I just completely muted it, and I haven't had nightmares since. It was so nightmarish. Like the hold music was so horrible, so horrible. All right, let's see.
I reached Brett Freeman. I'm not gonna.
All right, let's call again.
I reached Brett Freeman.
All right, never mind. On to the next.
Your call has been forwarded.
Let's call again.
Hello.
Hello, bonjour. I know I'm calling out the blue here. It's Fedi from Bath. Do you mind giving me a minute to tell you why I'm calling?
No, sorry. No cold calling. Sorry about that.
I thought, oh, okay. Oh, that's a shame. I was gonna say something funny, but she just hung up. Oh well, we move on. Like when I used to get calls like that and somebody would go, no cold calling, go away, or F off or something, I'd literally hate myself and I'd be like, why am I doing this? Why am I cold calling? Nobody likes to be cold called. It's just not a belief that serves me. And so I don't even believe, like even if I get something like that, that shows me that my belief might not be true, I go, yeah, doesn't matter. People love to be cold called. She hates to be cold called by other people, but if she gave me a chance, she would have booked that meeting and she would have loved it. Okay, let's call that one again. Okay, that doesn't matter. Obviously, you guys see now why I double dial, right? Like, the one that rejected me, she didn't pick up originally, but she picked up the second time. And so by calling twice, what you end up having is just a guarantee that if that person is available, they will pick up. It's not really a guarantee, but just you up your chances so much. Whereas if you just cold call once and they don't pick up, they might still be available, but you'll never know.
Hello, Charlotte speaking.
Hey Charlotte, I know I'm calling out the blue here. It's Fedi from Bath. Do you mind giving me a minute to tell you why I'm calling?
That's okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, typically the business consultants that I speak to, they're looking to increase the number of clients they work with. Is this something you're focused on right now, or are you complete capacity?
No, yeah, we're good, thank you. But I really appreciate the call.
No worries,
Sorry,
thank
I'm
you.
no help.
No, it's
All right,
okay.
then.
It's good to hear you guys are at capacity. Take care of yourself, Charlotte.
Yeah. Okay. Bye bye.
Could have pressed that one a bit more, I can't lie. I could have just asked the question again. I assume you guys are at complete capacity with taking on clients. That probably would have been something a bit more appropriate. Because I just said it too. I was like, I assume you're at capacity, and then I just continued the conversation on. which doesn't make it a question, or it doesn't make it something they can rebuttal. Sorry, that's a bit annoying. Chemical, what? Does this have anything to do with business coaching? Global specialist exec. No, this has got nothing to do with. I'm not cold calling these people. They've got nothing to do with what I'm looking for. All right, this one does though. All right. Ba ba ba. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Hi, you've reached Kurt.
All right, call again.
Hi.
Okay. On to the next. Hopefully you're not bored of watching me just press numbers on my phone and then speak to these people. This is literally what building a business is like. Like, this is what I would be doing. Like, unfortunately, I have to go in 20 minutes because I've got other stuff I need to do for my actual business that I work on all the time. But this is what I'd be doing all day, every day. And that's like the only thing I'd be doing at this stage right now. Like, if you're at the stage with me here and you're thinking, right, I'm at the stage Fedi's at, he's created his offer, he hasn't booked his first meetings, maybe you have booked a couple meetings, but you're not at 10K per month. All you need to be doing is this. Like, it's just outreaching to people. Cold calling, DMs, whatever it is, just outreach to people. I'm doing cold calls because, like I said, I want to practice the service I'm delivering, okay? So that's why I'm cold calling. But if you were to do DMs, if you were to do ads...
It has not been possible to connect your call. Please try again later.
All right, well, let's try one more time now, not later. I wrote the number wrong, that's why. That's not a real number. I have to put my glasses on, I can barely see. There you go, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Hello, it's Dan Wells. Thank you for your call. Sorry, I can't speak right now.
All right, Dan, well, I'm going to call you again because you probably can speak to me. Am I back in focus? I think I am.
Hello, it's Dan Wells.
All right, I guess Dan can't speak to me then. Allah Ghalib, I was looking forward to speaking to Dan. Another little top tip, by the way. Although I wouldn't recommend you do this all the time. If it's your first time cold calling, your first time doing outreach, do it in a group. Like, if you have a group of friends that are working on their business, if you don't, join my free school community, Ummah United. Like, you're going to make a group of friends there and you guys can call each other on Discord, on the phone, whatever it would be, and do cold calls together. It makes it so much easier to actually do because it's like, it requires discipline, but it's also just...
Your call has been forwarded.
It's also just boring. Like, you see me just typing in numbers on my phone.
Your call has been forwarded.
All right, but do you see why I double dialed that one, by the way? Because straight away it took me to voicemail. The second time, it actually dialed the number. And so that's why I always double dial. All right, let's keep dialing. Bum, bum, bum. I need to quickly mark off Charlotte from earlier by putting max capacity.
Hi, you've reached David. I'm sorry.
Irish accent? That's quite nice, you know.
This is David.
Hey David, it's Fedi. I know I'm calling out the blue here, but do you mind giving me a minute to tell you why I'm calling?
Actually, I'm in the U.S. right now, and I'm right in the middle of something. So this is not actually a good time to
Yeah,
talk.
no
Sorry.
worries at all. I'm more than happy to call you a different time. Would in the afternoon for you be okay? You Eastern time.
Yeah, but I'll be. What would work better for me is for us to talk next week when I'm back in London.
Yeah, absolutely, David. I'll call you back next week,
All right.
hopefully. Take care of yourself.
Sure, thanks.
Safe flight. There you go. Whenever I'm speaking to somebody and I'm saying goodbye, I have the urge to say, Assalamu alaikum. But obviously, they're going to be like, what the heck is that? Even if they know what it means, I don't think I'm allowed to say Assalamu alaikum to a non-believer. I don't think so. I'm not 100% certain on that. Don't quote me on that. Don't take it as truth.
Your call has been forwarded.
All right, let me quickly mark David as cool next week. So inshallah, I'm going to be a lot more organized next week so I can show you guys the system. Like I said, I just want to sprint to booking the first meeting. That's the most important thing for me right now. Next week, you guys will see the back end stuff, like how you're going to build the consistency of doing this, like how you're going to build a follow-up system for cold calls, etc., etc. Hey, David, it's Fedi. I know I'm calling out the blue here. Do you mind giving me a minute to tell you why I'm calling?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you right. Just say again.
It's Fedi. I'm calling you from Bath. I was asking if you had a minute for me to tell you why I'm calling.
One moment. What's it about?
No rush. I was basically going to ask you, because I typically speak to business consultants on a daily, and some of them are either looking to increase the amount of clients they work with, or some of them are at complete full capacity. Which one kind of are you in at the moment?
Well, neither. We're not actually a consultancy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's my bad, David. Then I've taken.
A SaaS piece of software. So. Thanks.
No worries. Take
Bye.
care. Okay, I'm gonna put SaaS because I can just send this lead to my brother. I should have focused more with him though, because when you heard me laugh at the end, I generally found it funny, but like, do you know what I mean? Like he was not zoning out, but he wanted to get out the call. I wasn't necessarily going to continue the conversation, but still. Let me quickly check the chat if there's any updates, because like I said, it's lagging a lot. I used to do, so basically, Alpha Echi, what I used to do when I cold called for my agency originally was I would cold call from 9 till 1 p.m., because 1 p.m. is usually when they took their lunch break, the dentists, and then from 2 till 5. So 9 till 1, 4, so usually 7 hours. Like 7 hours of cold calling. Sometimes I'd literally reach my booking goal, which would be like 3 bookings a day, and I'd stop cold calling. So I'd be like, yeah, I can reward myself, I did well. But other days I'd cold call for 7 hours and I'd get no pickups. I also had a job at the time, so that wasn't every single day. Because I tried to squeeze as many cold calls as I could, because I had a part-time job and then a full-time job as well, because I was trying to like support myself and my family at the same time as like buying all these courses and stuff like that. And so for me, I kind of like just needed to use my time as wisely as possible, and that was just going towards cold calling. The days where the business was starting to pick up and do well were the days I did a lot of cold calls. When I stopped cold calling for like a week, I picked up more shifts in my job because I didn't book any meetings. Sorry.
Welcome to the EE voicemail.
Welcome to the EE voicemail. Cold call again.
Welcome to the EE.
David Goldstone. I don't know. That's pretty close to the surname Goldstein. This guy might be a... Anyways. Sorry if that was inappropriate. How do I pronounce this guy's name? Gillian or Gillian? Gillian?
Welcome to the EE.
Well, thank God he didn't pick up. Well, I'm going to call him again anyway, but I've got no idea how to pronounce his name. Gillian. Gillian. I'm going to go with Gillian.
A call has been forwarded to voice.
Alright, didn't pick up. I'm going to do a couple more, and then what I'm going to do is show you how to manage your leads so that you know what to do next after you've done, let's say, a day of cold calling.
Welcome to GitGut.
Also, I'm a big fan of tracking data and everything, but as you can see, I'm not tracking anything today. Like, you want to get onto the system technical stuff, next week, inshallah, I'll have that ready and I'll show you everything. But again, like, I hope I'm getting my point across that I don't need to track anything right now. I just need to get cold calling. Like, that's all that matters at the moment. Oh, his name's Tariq. Tariq, I wonder if he's Muslim or just an Arab name. It could be Tariq. I don't know if Tariq's even a real name if it's not Arab. Okay, dokie. Alright, let's do 2 more. I've done what, like 35 cold calls at this point? How many people picked up? Like 3 or 4? That's not very good. I'd expect more people to pick up is what I'm saying.
Alex.
Can't take your call right now.
Alex? The number I called is supposed to be Fiona. Either they've had a sex change or I've got the wrong number, so I'm just not going to call them again. Okay. Inshallah khair.
From Burgess.
Hey Fran. I know I'm calling out of the blue here, but it's Fedi from Bath. Do you mind giving me a minute to tell you why I'm calling?
Yeah, you can have a minute.
Awesome. I assume you're driving. I don't want you crashing just by me
driving.
being annoying. Just to double check, are you guys an insurance company or are you business consultants?
We're a training company specialising in the insurance market.
Makes sense. In that case, I won't take up that minute because I think I've got the wrong number in general. But you take care of yourself, Fran. Safe travels.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
They work with insurance companies. And they're trainers, which means they're not really consultants. And preferably, for me personally, I don't want to go anywhere near insurance at all, right? Like I just don't want to go anywhere near it. I know, like, by the way, it's not haram to work with somebody who does something haram. I'll give you an example. It's haram for you to work with a bar, right? Because you're advertising the alcohol. But it's not haram for you to work with a bar as long as you're not advertising alcohol. So if you work with a bar to, let's say, maintain that electricity, just a random example, that's not haram on you because you're not the one selling alcohol and you're not the one advertising the sale of alcohol. The same thing goes with this. It's not haram for me to work with somebody who works with insurance people as long as I'm not advertising the insurance itself. But I don't want to get anywhere near insurance specifically. And so, yeah, anyway. All right, well, that's cold calls for today. I didn't track how many we did, but alhamdulillah. So, well, like 3 pickups, no meetings booked. Even for an expert like me, I guess that's, yeah. To answer your question, Phantom user, why don't I just email them? Because, I don't know. Like, why would I email them when I can call them? It's like, you know, there's no actual reasons. Like, I'd rather call them because I get to speak to them directly. I get to hear them. I get to understand them. And most importantly, it's really, really good market research. It's also a lot more direct. Plus, email, to do it well, is expensive nowadays. Minimum of like £200 a month. My friend he does email for like the really, really big people. So you guys probably know Charlie Morgan. He's done email with them. Alex Beck, all those like OG email guys as well. His name is Noor. And he said, like, if you want to actually set up a good email system, it's going to cost you at least $2,000, $1,000 right off the bat. So, and Phantom Use, Habibi, I heard it from my sheikh, akhi. In terms of like not working, like it's not haram to work with specific niches as long as you're not advertising something that is haram. If you're advertising the one that's haram, it's haram on you. Wa alaikum salam, Graphic FM. Hopefully the lag is not too bad, by the way, for you guys. All right. Okay, let us look then at what we do. And let me make sure you can see this part of my screen now. Yeah, you can. Okay, I'm going to quickly just hide the numbers. I should have done this before. There you go. So, and their emails actually. There you go. And this one here. Not that you guys are any nefarious, but I don't know who would watch this video that would be having nefarious intentions. So, Erdem has already called these leads before, but I'm ignoring Erdem's notes and I'm just looking at mine. This one was a bad fit. This one's a max capacity. This one told me to call next week, right? So what I would do the second I finish cold calling is start sorting out my list, sorting out the leads that I have, and basically just double checking things such as, right, which ones do I need to remove? I'm just going to put them in red just so I can show you guys the example, right? Bam. This guy's Sass. Bam. There was one that rejected me, but I cannot remember who they were. I can't remember who it was at all. Was it Claire? No, I don't remember who it was. Doesn't matter. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put it on this red right here. Bam. And let's go back to just putting this one in black like this. There you go. So that way I know next time I'm not going to call these guys, so I don't waste my time calling people that I've already called and who aren't a fit or said directly they're not interested. Not a fit, not a fit, not a fit. That's why I put them here. Because nobody's really said not interested, but I think they have. She said, I don't take cold calls, and then she hung up on me. But I'll just call her again. Like, I really do not care at all. So, yeah. When it comes to, let me quickly do something here. There you go. When it comes to the ones that said call next week, this guy becomes my priority. But obviously he said call next week. He didn't say call tomorrow. And so what I would do is just call next week. I wouldn't call tomorrow. I'd call when he told me to call. Everybody else that you see here joins my bucket list of call tomorrow. That's it. Call tomorrow. And so that's what I would do. I would just go through the people I've already called and then put them on the call tomorrow list. And I'd call these people first because if they've heard my voice, I'm going to be familiar to them. And therefore they're going to be more receptive to me pitching. If they haven't heard my voice and they just didn't pick up, it's just going to be easy numbers to dial through to hopefully get a pickup. Next, I would obviously go through the kind of quote unquote strangers list, right? So like I said, we did about like 40 calls today and we had like 4 or 5 people pick up maybe. It's not the best pickup rate. But to do what, like 40 calls in 40 minutes, I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite happy with that. So, alhamdulillah. Yasin akhi, I am selling cold calling. I'm basically selling the outcome. This is what I need to remember actually. Ignore me saying I'm selling cold calling. What I'm actually selling is this. This is what I'm selling. My vehicle to do that is cold calling. Here it is. And so this is what I need to remember, because the reason I say this is most people say, oh, I sell Facebook ads. I sell, like, you don't sell anything like that. What you sell is the end result. And I'm selling 3 clients in 30 days. That's what I'm selling. The service itself, though, like you asked, this is a good question. I'm selling cold calling. BK, Habibi, why wouldn't you be able to do this if you're a software engineer? Like, is it physically possible for a software engineer to do this? Yeah. So I wouldn't see why not. I don't see the issue. The only thing I'd say for a software engineer is if you don't want to sell cold calling, sell something based on your skills. As a software engineer, you obviously have skills with coding. You can probably know how to build or modify a software. And that's what I would do, akhi. I would literally just replace my strategy with whatever you'd want to sell them. And the really easy thing to sell as a software engineer is websites to local businesses who don't have websites. That's literally it. That's what I would do. And obviously you could cold call them. So you'd use my exact strategy that I'm showing you now when it comes to cold calling. And that's it. So before we end the live stream, I just want to make sure if there's any questions you guys have that I answer them. This is generally the process I take, and I'm going to keep taking for the next weeks, however long it takes, to book meetings, close deals, I'm literally just going to be cold calling these people again and again and again and again. Next week, I'm going to show you how to manage this a little bit better, how to track the data so that inshallah you can know what to improve, right? Like you might be like, actually, I need to improve my pitch. I need to improve this. I need to improve that. So far, we haven't pitched anybody. So nobody's actually heard our pitch. So I would never change my pitch if nobody's heard it, right? I'm not going to go off and be like, oh, I'm bored now. I just watched a video about offers. Let me change my offer. No, I'd keep this the exact same. I'm keeping this the same until I speak to at least 30 people and they give me their opinions on it, okay? That's what's important for me. Good question, Yassine Akhi. I answered that question in my last video. I'll give you like a quick kind of summary of what I said, if you will, but I'd still go back and watch that live stream last week. You basically do the work and you figure out based on your cold, oh, I think somebody's calling me back. Let's see, what number is this? Crap. Hello, it's Fedi Lecamus.
It's David Goldstone here.
Oh, hey, I called you earlier. I was going to ask you permission for me to explain to you why I called you, David.
Go ahead.
Awesome. Well, I was going to ask because typically when I speak to business consultants, they're looking to increase the number of clients they work with, or they're literally at complete max capacity. Like, which camp are you in right now? Are you looking to take on more clients, or are you chock-a-block?
I'm in the camp where I get about 10 calls like this every week. Probably about
You
10,
unlucky bugger.
about 10 LinkedIn. Don't worry, about 10 LinkedIn coaches. And I'll say to you what I say to everybody, and everybody says no. Send me a lead, and if I like what I see, I will pay you money to do the work for me.
So send you a lead.
No?
Send you a lead
Send
regarding.
Me a lead. You think, have a look at my business. Think about what a good lead would be for me. Send me an introduction to someone that you teed up for me, and if I think it's good, I'll pay you handsomely for carrying on. If you're interested, let's do it. If not, you can just hang up on me right now.
How could I do that if I don't have your calendar to send you the lead?
Well, you don't need a calendar. You can have my email address. Shall I give it to you now?
I wouldn't necessarily trust the lead to reach out to you, no? Because usually if they're quite warm leads, they'd want to book a calendar straight away.
I'd like you to send me an email that says, this is a person that we know who would be interested in what you do. You've got 10 seconds. Do you want the email address or not?
Makes sense, David. I'll pass just because we've only got capacity for one more client. I think I've been warned about this guy before. That was hilarious. That was so funny. You know, the average person, obviously not you because you watch me, but the average person, right? What they would do in this instance is freak out and go, yes. Not me. And I will never put Adam through something like that because this guy is just, I'm not saying he's a lunatic, he's got nothing wrong with him, but like, why would you take that terrible offer? Like, why would you waste your time getting somebody a lead? And then they start working with you. He's probably broke. He's not going to pay you the amount that you want anyway. So, yeah. I'm just not going to bother with that guy. Inshallah khair though. Inshallah khair. Yeah, we'll see. All right, I'll answer a couple questions and then inshallah we'll end the live stream. I haven't made Hijrah Habibi Ronaldo. Inshallah, next year I'll be making Hijrah to Sharjah, just because I like Sharjah in the UAE. And what other questions were there? I get to see now the reaction of you guys from that call. Now I get to see what you guys have to say. I mean, he was very funny, to be fair. BK's got it right. BK's got it right. That's probably what he would do. All right, Juan, I'll end the live stream here. Inshallah, I'll see you guys next week. These are going to be a lot more like built up, inshallah, and more interactive. I need to fix out my Wi-Fi to see why the heck it's so bad when it comes to the lag between me and you. But yeah, inshallah, I'll speak to you guys soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And don't forget to join the free school community if you guys have any questions or anything like that. And inshallah, I'll speak to you soon. Assalamu alaikum. Hey Siri.